Solo Chuck, los tres chingones boxing. Shouts to all the chingones y chingonas doing a little something different here today, man. I've had this setup, but I don't know, dog. I never really use it, man. But one thing that we're gonna do different, at least here tonight, we will take some phone calls. All right, so I will put the number up, and we'll take some phone calls, man. I've been wanting to do this for a minute or two. Okay, I have, but man, just life gets in the way, Holmes. Life definitely gets in the way, and that's why I'm a little bit late today, because life got in the freaking way. All right, man. What's up, Dimitro? JC, Kule, Kule, Kule. What up, bro? Messy weekend, man. What's it? All right. So, I mean, I pretty much want to stick to what happened with Javante Davis. Um, I mean, there were so many other things that went on as well, but I know the whole Rayo thing and everything that was something, man. Hey, congratulations, Holmes. Congratulations to Antoine Russell, man. He went in there, he put in the work, he got the victory. We'll definitely talk about that more in detail on Friday. But for now, I kind of just want to talk about what happened with Javante Tank Davis, homie, because man, at least me myself, all right, I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen a fighter take a knee, willingly taking a knee. The referee, who in this case was Steve Willis, he's pretty well known, dog. It's not like this dude like nobody knows who he is or no. He's had some big fights before. I've seen him plenty of times, right? Let me move this over here. I've seen him plenty of times. I'm sure everybody has. Let's see, that's not working. All right. Oh shoot, gracias, man. I didn't know my audio was on mute. I was on it was on mute for a while. All right. Um, but there's so many things that went wrong on this, right? And Steve Willis, to me, is the one that's most at fault here. Now, a lot of people are blaming Tank Davis. I mean, I'm not really blaming him too much. He did what he was able to get away with, right? Didn't have to be that way. To me, it was on the referee. Now, this could come back, and I think it's going to. I think this is going to come back. Roach is already appealing this, and he's got a strong case, Holmes. He does. I do not know how they do not reverse this. That's a knockdown. The fact that this was a draw pushes that over the line. That's a knockdown. You willingly took a knee, whether it was from a punch or not. You willingly took a knee. And then you go to your corner. You go to your corner, which is illegal, by the way. And your corner towels you off. That's illegal. You cannot do that. So I'm like, I don't. to me, this is all on the referee. There's a lot of people that are pissed off at Tank Davis. I'm not too angry with them. I'm not. I'm more pissed at the referee how he let this go. So I'm just kind of like, all right, dog. So I mean, this needs to get overturned, and it doesn't need to get overturned because because it's Tank Davis or people hate Tank Davis and you need to be against Tank Davis. Nah, homie, I don't care about any of that. Look, me myself personally, I'll tell you guys this. I actually like Tank Davis. I like watching his fights. I do. I'm entertained by his fights. Does he fight all the big heavy hitters at 135? No, he doesn't. But I like watching his fights. Should they be pay-per-view? Should they be $80? No, of course not. But nonetheless, I do like watching his fights. Let me do this. All right. So I do like watching his fights. I'm not one of these Tank haters. And I know there's Tank haters, just like I know there's Tank lovers. I do like watching his fights. Now, even without the knockdown, Lamont Roach, I mean, it was a close fight. But the reason why this needs to get overturned, I'll tell everybody why. Because if it doesn't, you just set precedent. You just set it for other fighters to take these timeouts. Oh, I just took a knee, but I wasn't hurt. I wasn't knocked down. You make that new rule there where now fighters are going to start taking knees to take a timeout. You're going to, I don't know why something, I keep getting muted, but you're going to make it now where fighters are going to be going to their corner. It's not going to happen a lot, but it's going to happen every now and then. But this is why the New York Athletic Commission needs to overturn this. Not because it's Tank. Not for any of that reason. Not for the love for Tank. Not for the hatred for Tank. Not for any of that reason. You need to do it so this doesn't happen again. So there is no like, oh, wait a second, he did it. Because at some point, then you can have a fighter that can be hurt, dance around the ring a little bit, and then say like, hey, you know what? I'm going to take a knee. Let me take a knee. And then say like, hey, I wasn't punched. I didn't take a hit for like a good 10 seconds. I had something in my eye. So that's why the New York Athletic Commission, they need to overturn this and give that victory to Lamont Roach. A rematch is not good enough. It is not good enough. Should there be a rematch? Fine. Sure. I don't have an issue with that. But you need to overturn this. You need to score that a knockdown. And with that knockdown, Lamont Roach wins. And not only that, you could probably even just disqualify him for what he did at the corner. Now, shout outs to Beeb over there on Ringside Reporter. He had the heck, I forgot his name. The guy who used to run the New York Athletic Commission, right? Beeb over there with his Boston accent. Shouts to Beeb, man. And that guy had said that he doesn't like that it should be a disqualification if your corner gets up or if your corner gets in there or whatever it may be. I'm kind of with them on that. Randy Gordon. Okay, gracias, Dimitro. I'm kind of with them on that. If a guy gets up on the apron, should be an immediate disqualification. I don't like that. It should be a point deduction. It should be a point deduction. If it were me, if I were in charge, if I were the referee, I would have scored that a knockdown, And then when I saw the corner, what they did, personally, okay, through the rule book, yes, that's a disqualification. That's a DQ. But I wouldn't have disqualified him. Okay. What I would have done is I would have taken another point away. So now you got the knockdown, and now I'm taking another point. Okay, so I ruled that a knockdown. I'm counting. Okay, you're up. Cool. Stop the count, but that's a knockdown. Oh, you went to your corner? Okay, you know what? Time out. Let me bring you to the ring. Okay, everybody scored the knockdown. 1 point. 1 point for going to the corner. 1 point for going to the corner and getting towed off. You cannot do that. That's why they need to overturn this. I don't care about the hatred for Tank. Yes, I'm sure there's plenty of people that hate Tank and there's plenty of people that love Tank. I don't give a damn about any of that, Holmes. What I care about is the sport. More than anything else is I love boxing. And if they let this ride, then this is going to become a thing. This is going to become more prevalent, where fighters are just going to be taking knees and I had something in my eye and all that stuff. Like, no. What's up, Cortua Cafe? Andrew. Who else is on here, man? Chet, JC. Give it to everybody, man. So, yeah, they have to overturn this. If they do not, now apparently, we're going to find out at the end of the week. And if they do not overturn this, good gosh, dog. Good gosh. Be ready to see this again. All right, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to drop the number. If you guys want to call in. I've never taken calls. Let's see. All right, there it is. All right, you guys got the number right there, man. Scrolling at the bottom. If you guys want to call in, I can only take one caller at a time. So, yeah, be patient. But look, man, I did hear that guy who used to work for the athletic commission. He said that they should not be swayed by the public. To a certain degree, I'm with that. Okay, I'm with that. You should not let the public pressure you one way or the other. I do understand that. All right, I do. However, in this case, it's all over the rule book. It's all over the rule book. So it's not just getting the heat from the boxing fan base, but it's all over the rule books on what you can and cannot do. Now, this whole thing about it's on the referee's discretion. No, it is not. It's in the rule book. You just cannot call a personal timeout and go to your corner and say, hey, wipe my face off. The referee can do that. And we've seen that plenty of times. The referee has said, hey, timeout. There's too much Vaseline on this dude's face or whatever. Usually that happens before the round starts or even with blood, right? Hey, timeout. Get the doctor up here. I mean, what if a fighter says like, hey man, I can you check my eye out? I'm good to fight. I just want to make sure that I don't suffer so much damage to my eye that I can never see again. So the referee can call timeout so you can get checked out. But you as the fighter, you cannot call timeout. The timeouts are in between rounds. So in between rounds, that's when you get everything situated. You got your eye burning? All right, your eye's burning, man. Close one eye. Run around the ring. Dance around the ring. Make it to the end of the round. Hey, wipe this stuff off my eye. The hairdresser, man. The hairdresser has came out and she's defended herself, man. Let me see. Are you going to give us your thoughts on Turk and Dana White? Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that on Friday, man. Yeah, they're gonna start a league. They're going to start a league. And I'm telling you guys right now, in the next 10 years, this isn't going to take off just like that with the snap of a finger. But I'm going to say 10 years from now, boxing can be monopolized. All right. Now, that's supposed to start next year. And it's not going to take off right away. They're going to start small. They're going to start with probably a bunch of no-namers, probably a bunch of, you know, maybe guys that are already retired, probably kind of like Pro Box, what Pro Box is doing right now. They'll probably start small like that and eventually start building and building and building and building. The difference with all these small promotions and Turk and Dana White, um, in connections with TKO, who own UFC and the WWE, at which I am a huge WWE fan, man. You guys see the Money in the Bank briefcase right there. Um, the difference between all these other little small promotions and what they got going, their pockets, homie, are stacked. Money is not an issue with these dudes. Money is nowhere near an issue with this crew, with Dana White, with the Turk, with TKO. Money is, it's not even a conversation. So they are stacked. So can they start a league and will it work? Yeah. Yeah. It's going to take some time. But I'm telling you guys right now, man, 10 years from now, what, 2035, I think boxing is going to be monopolized. There'll still be other little promotions here and there out there doing their thing. Yeah. But I think 10 years from now, all the big major fights are going to be in this promotion that they're starting. Just like UFC, they monopolized MMA. There's other little small promotions out there, just like wrestling. I mean, look, it's going down exactly like that. Just like wrestling. I'm a huge wrestling fan. Everybody knows the WWE is where it's at. So, let's see. What's up, Tony? Gracias, man. The ref was Gasho. I think Bravo, that is who I put the blame on. All right. That is the number one person I put the blame on. I put it on the referee, Steve Willis, who is a veteran referee. So I know there's people coming out talking about like, hey, man, you know what? This dude was in on it. He was in on it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. He counted it as a knockdown. He starts counting and then he stops the count. Hey, what are you doing? What's going on? Okay, you gotta let me know. Like, was it just kind of a dumb moment on his move? I don't want to say that he was bot. Maybe he was. I'm not saying he wasn't. Maybe he was bot. He's a veteran referee though, man. At the same time, that doesn't really happen much. So I don't know how much training he really has or any referee really has when you see something like that happen. Now, here's the thing, man. There's been times that I've seen certain things go down. Okay. I forgot who was fighting. It wasn't a major fight, but I remember seeing Jack Reese, who's my favorite referee. Spencer. My mic went on mute. I don't know why that happens. Seems like every so often, man, it's going on mute. I'll work on that. He goes and he makes contact with his cornerman. There is no discussion here. I can't even believe that this is some form of discussion or debate or some sort of for those that really truly love Tank Davis, which is fine. I don't care if you love Tank Davis. Like I said, I don't hate him. I like watching him fight. Shouldn't be worth $80, but nonetheless, I like watching him fight. And I don't care if it was Tank or anybody else. There's no discussion here. He took a knee, whether it was by a punch or not by a punch. Now, he did take a jab. Was that jab the reason why he went down? Probably not. But then he gets up and he runs to the corner, makes contact with his corner man, gets towed off. Guy, there's no discussion. There's no argument here. There's nothing to defend. Now, was Steve Willis in it, or did he just kind of have like a, man, I don't know what the heck to do here? And it's like, I really don't want to stop this fight. So, let's see. No timeouts in boxing. Only the ref can stop the action. He took the knee after taking a punch. House of Pain, Denver. I'm assuming you're from Denver. Shouts to the land of the Rockies. Yeah, I mean, you could make that argument, right? You could make the argument that he went down because of a punch, because he did take a small little jab. My point is, whether he went down for that jab or didn't go down with that jab, he deliberately took a knee. He didn't slip. He didn't fall. He didn't trip. He deliberately went backed up, and deliberately took a knee. So whether it was by the punch or not, doesn't matter. That's a knockdown. That's what I'm saying. There's no debate here. For those that are saying like, oh man, Tank isn't going to go down from that sorry ass jab, that doesn't matter. Fine, take that jab away. Take it away. Let's say Roach never landed that jab. He took a knee. He didn't slip. He didn't fall. He didn't trip. He didn't do anything like that. He backed up and on his own volition took a knee. That's a knockdown. That's not up for discussion. That's not up for debate. That's what I'm saying. The New York Athletic Commission, they need to overturn this. This can turn out to be bad. Man, if they do not, man, homie, this is going to turn out to be bad in boxing, where now you're going to start seeing fighters do things like this. And by the way, like, his reasoning was pretty funny. I can appreciate Tank Davis's cavalier and his honesty. Like, well, I had my hair done and the grease got into my eye. Oh, dog. That would have been freedom, homie. If when I was in the ring and I was just a little tired or whatever, I would just take a knee and just say like, damn, you know what? A little tres flores got into my eye, Holmes. So Spencer. But and now you got the hair, the chick that did his hair, over there defending herself. Let's read the actual rule. Cholo, do you have the rule book handy? I do not, Rudy. I do not have it handy. These TKO like button. I do not have it handy. However, him going to the corner. And by the way, let's say you don't rule that a knockdown. How about him going to the corner? How about him going to the corner, making contact with his corner? This has to be overruled. You got to nip this in the butt, man. You cannot have fighters starting to do this stuff. This is something that can take place more than once if you allow this to happen. So apparently we'll find out at the end of the week. And they got to overturn this. And by the way, look, I know there's this whole A side, B side thing in boxing, which makes sense. Personally, I don't like it, but it makes sense, right? One guy sells, the other guy doesn't. Okay, that's the A side, the seller. He's the one that sells. In this case, Tank Davis is the A side. Ain't nobody going there to watch Lamont Roach, right? So if you flip the script, had that been Lamont Roach that took that knee because he got grease in his eye, would Steve Willis stop the count? Would he have treated it the same? I don't know. The speculation, honestly, I think he would have ruled it a knockdown. If he got up right after and went to his corner to go get towed off, would he have disqualified Lamont Roach? We'll never know. We can speculate and say like, oh, yeah, he would have treated Lamont Roach different. I think he would have, but I don't know that to be true. But nonetheless, the point is you do not want this to be happening in the sport of boxing. So thus, you cannot let this slide. I've been hearing people talking about like, oh man, so that's how you want Tank to get his first loss like that. Again, it's not about Tank. I'm sure to many other people, it's about Tank. Because you got his haters, you got his lovers, and they battle each other freaking all day on social media and through comments and YouTube channels, and they just bash each other, dog. I'm just talking about boxing. You cannot let this slide. Or else you're going to have other fighters doing these kind of things. And who knows what happens? Who knows if a fighter goes to his corner to get towed off? Is he just getting towed off? Is something else going on in that corner? So, yeah, man, they definitely gotta do something with this. Hairgate. I don't think anyone who isn't a big star as Tank could get away with it. Yeah, I don't think so either, Brett. I don't think so either. That's what I'm saying. Had it been Lamont Roach, now again, I don't know this to be true. Okay, and we'll probably never know. But I don't think Lamont Roach would have got the same treatment. I don't think. I'm not saying I know that for a fact because I don't. But I don't think had it been Lamont Roach, I don't think it would have gone down that way. And Serrano said she canceled her fight because she got in her eye. Yeah, there's a lot of this hair thing now, man. It's funny, and the fact that his hairdresser came out on social media to defend herself was like, "Hey, I did his hair back in what was it back on Wednesday?" So he's lying. Like, I guess people went at her, dog. How did they even know who she was? I don't know, man. But I guess people started attacking her, like, "Hey, because of you, he didn't win the fight." Make sure eat Tres Flores for all the cholos is thinking about fighting for a world title. Yeah, exactly, Rudy. Exactly, Holmes. I had a YouTube fight last year. We're coming up to the 1 year anniversary, man. Maybe it's for free on YouTube now. Maybe just for fun, man. Maybe I'll go ahead and play it on the 1 year anniversary and kind of break it down a little bit. It would have been pretty freedom, dog. If we can do that, I would have just been like, hey, hold on, wait, stop, man. Whenever he hit me with some good shots, just be like, hey, hold on, man. I got some tres flores in my eye, man. Hold on. Let me see. Going to be tank rule. You know what, Andrew? That actually will be good right there. Call it the tank rule. It's the tank rule. I'm with you on this. This is Conrad. Orale. What's up, Conrad? That's right, man. Shouts to Conrad. Because of this. By the way, man, if anybody wants to call in, probably stay on for about another 15 minutes. The number is right there. You guys want to call in. I've never taken phone calls, so let's see how that goes. Let me see. If that was Roach and they didn't give 8 count Davis. Yeah. 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 I mean, look, and by the way, I'll go ahead and say this, man. You know what? This right here takes away of a good fight because in reality, this was a good fight, Holmes. I this was a much better fight than I thought it was going to be. Tank Davis fights always start off slow because it's almost like just looking for just that one knockout punch, right? So they always start off slow, and this one was no different. This one started off pretty slow, but when it picked up, man. I thought it was fun. Hey, man, it was a fun fight to watch. I was impressed. I was impressed. I was like, damn, okay, this some good stuff right here, Holmes. That's right. This is a good main event. I'm liking it. I mean, heck, if they're charging $80, make it a good fight, and it turned out to be a good fight. But now it's it's in a shadow of this, and rightfully so because you cannot let this ride. It sucks because it takes away from a good fight, and for those that are saying like, okay, you know what? How about if there's just a rematch and just leave it alone and just let there be a rematch? That's not good enough. That's not good enough. You need to guarantee that this stuff doesn't keep on happening, and the only way you guarantee that is by overturning this. At the very least, come out and say like, okay, you know what? We're going to go to the scorecards, and the only thing we're going to change is that we are going to rule that a knockdown. Or they can even come back and just say like, you know what he did at the corner, disqualification. But it cannot just be a fine. It cannot just be about money. All right, there we go. Mike's back on. All right. I've heard people say like, hey, you know what? Okay, how about we just have a rematch? There. That should solve everything. No, no, it does not. It does not solve everything. Because if fighters can do this, and then all they know is that, oh, whoa, we're just gonna run it back. Like, no, Charles, that's not what needs to go down. This needs to get overturned. And if it was my boy Virgil Ortiz, who is my favorite fighter today, I'd be saying the same thing. I know maybe some of you guys won't believe me, but I'll say it, and I've been saying it. In my book, Virgil Ortiz lost to not to Madrimov, but to Sergey Boyachek. He lost. I went back. I watched that fight. I saw that fight twice. He lost, Holmes. He's my favorite fighter I want him to be the next big thing. But in my book, he lost against Bochek. Let me see. The Tau could have PD. Okay, Chet, and that's what I'm talking about, Chet. That's what I'm talking about. Because now you go to your corner. See, they have, I forgot what they're called, but they have some sort of official at the corner. So in between rounds, they're there watching. What are you doing? They're there making sure that you're not giving your fighter something that you're not supposed to be giving them. I forgot what they're called, but they have some official at each corner there watching, making sure you're not doing anything illegal, making sure you're not giving your fighter some sort of supplement or doing anything that you're not supposed to be doing. They're there watching. So now, during the fight, not in between rounds, but during the round, if the fighter just runs to his corner, like what happened, and sticks his head out, that official isn't standing exactly right there or has a good bird eye view on exactly what is going down. So now the trainer or whomever he runs to in that corner, could they slip him something? Could they give him something? Yeah, probably. I don't think that's what happened here. But that's why I'm saying, that's why this needs to get overturned. Because if not, then you are going to have these kind of problems. So, yeah, man. Unfortunately, let me see. Even worse, the ref started Demetrio. That's the thing, man. That's the thing. How does the ref start counting? Tank gets up. Good stand. Give him a standing 8 count. He runs to the corner. He decides to stop counting. What's going on? What's going on? Finish your count, man. Finish your count. He runs to the corner, gets towed off. You don't say anything. You don't say anything to the corner. You don't do anything. You just ask Tank Davis, what's going on? To me, this is all on the referee. This is all on the ref. Now, does Tank, does he kind of have this attitude a little bit like, hey, I'm Tank Davis. I can do this and get away with it? Maybe he does. Maybe he does. Probably even more of a reason for the athletic commission to overturn this. To let everybody know, hey, listen, nobody is above this. You cannot do this. I don't understand the discussion. I don't understand the arguments. I don't understand the people that are, defending this and wanting to go back in time. Oh, what about this? What about Mean Machine? What about that? Those were all, none of those were like this, man. None of those episodes were like this. Let me see. Pete Town says Tank lost regardless of the situation. In my opinion, it was a good fight. It was a damn good fight. Damn good competitive fight. Let's take that situation away. Let's say that never happened. Let's say that never happened. Who won? Tank never took a knee. Tank never went to the corner to get towed off. That never happened. Erase that from your memories. Who won that fight? Let's see. Bad look for boxing. Let me see. Tank talked all smack about Turk and the cards. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right, man. Yeah, because Turki Al-Sheikh went and told what was his name? Shoot, when he was fighting Carlos Adames, he went and told him, "Hey, you're losing by 2 rounds." Yeah, you're right. You're right, man. The ref started counting because that's second nature for him. But after two, he remembered. I love that guy. It's Tank. LOL. All right, man. Well, without that knockdown, without him, if you take all that away, I thought it was a really good fight. And I don't want people to sleep on that. This whole thing about, hey, Tank was exposed. He was exposed. He was exposed. I heard people say that when he fought Pitbull Cruz. So was he exposed with Pitbull or was he exposed this past Saturday? That word exposed gets thrown around a lot, man. Let's see, Chola. I wish I could call them, but I got. Oh, I got you. I got you, man. I got you. Hey, Demetrio, better you than me, Holmes. Better you than me. My sons, they're grown up and they're out of the house, man. Better you than me, man. um, but that word exposed. Oh, he got exposed. Oh, this guy got exposed. Hey, that guy got exposed. I was hearing that about Tank when he fought Pitbull. So if he got exposed then, how does he get exposed now? I thought he was already exposed. Again, I'm not a Tank hater. I'm not a Tank lover. I like watching him fight. But nonetheless, man, um, if there is a rematch, if there is a rematch, honestly, man, I think Tank might take him down. The reason being is I think Roach trained his ass off. I think Lamont Roach gave it everything he had. Like this was his Rocky moment, right? I think he trained smarter, harder than any time before. I'm not so sure if Tank did. So if there is a rematch, I'll probably favor Tank. And by the way, this probably even helps Tank more. You guys want to know why? For one, he's looking to retire. He's looking to retire this year. Okay. All right. Remember that. He's looking to retire this year. Okay. We're already in March. All right. If he fights Lamont Roach again, that won't be for another few months. That won't be till the summer. Okay. Now I believe, and I could be wrong, but I believe Tank beats Lamont Roach in a rematch. That was Lamont Roach's. That was his grandest performance, man. He ain't gonna get any better than that. Tank Davis now knowing, like, damn, okay, I can't look like this against him. I don't think he beats him easily, but I think he beats him, yeah. And not only that, not only do I think he beats him, you know, now the eyeballs that are going to be on this fight, on this rematch, on the revancha. To the best of my knowledge, man, the numbers aren't out for this fight yet. And I don't think it did good numbers. If there's a rematch, those numbers are going to be good. They're going to be good. They're not going to be great. They're not going to be great. And I still don't think it's an $80 worth pay per view. No. But the numbers will definitely be better. So yeah, man. Let me see. So I wish I let me see. You've been exposed. Que no, he always down on the cards. Well, I mean, look, that's what I'm saying. Everybody was saying that when he fought Pitbull. It's like, oh, he's been exposed. He's been exposed. People thought that Pitbull won that fight. I personally thought it was a good fight, but I thought Tank Davis did win that fight. This fight right here, without that knockdown, but which wasn't scored a knockdown, without any of that stuff, man, I can't argue against people that had Lamont Roach winning that fight. I can't argue against that. No one give Roach credit. And well, Andrew Martinez, you should. You're right. You're right. I don't really hear. You're right, Andrew. I don't really hear many people giving Lamont Roach credit, right? And it sucks, man, because they should. They should. Instead, everybody's talking about this, which I don't think anybody's wrong to talk about this, because this definitely needs to be addressed. This needs to be overturned. Boxing cannot allow this to just be swept under the rug. This will be a huge killer for boxing if they just allow this to happen. What would be their argument? Well, after carefully, reviewing everything, we think it's just best to leave it to the referee's discretion. Like, and by the way, you're talking about New York. You're talking about New York, which used to be once upon a time the Mecca of boxing. You're not talking about, somewhere in Iowa or Kentucky or, Louisiana or Montana or Minnesota, or you're not talking about any of those places. You're talking about New York, baby. This happening in New York or LA or Las Vegas, you can't let this stuff slide. All eyes are on New York right now, on that commission. And if they come out and they say they reviewed everything and they're just going to stick with the referee, that Tank changed his mind. He said he want to fight 4 more times. All right. Well, one of them's probably going to be Lamont Roach. And from what I understand, what it looks like, he's entertaining another rematch with Pitbull. So we'll see. I give Roach a lot of credit, coming from 130 and doing what 135 and 140 pounders couldn't do. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, look, give it up for Lamont Roach, man. None of this is his fault. Was it really the grease? I don't heck if I know, dog. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Maybe that little jab landed right on Tank's eye. It happens. You get that leather, man, in your eye with some sweat on it. Yeah, it can burn. Maybe it was that. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was the grease. Either way, man. So many rules were just overlooked that were broken by Steve Willis, the referee. That's who I blame on all this more than anything. And now it needs to be corrected. And if it is not corrected, man, you are doing something terrible to this sport. And you're New York City. You will cost this sport more than you know. Unless there's just no more fights in New York. And you're New York. I'm out here on the Wild Wild West Side, dog, throwing up the W, right? Out here in Killer County, SoCal. If this happened in LA, homie, I would be all over it as well. Be like, damn that. Because now you're killing the territory. I love the fact that there's boxing out here, man. Big fights, small. I mean, there's not too many big fights anymore, but there's some good fights. So for something like that to happen here, dog, man, I'd be on it more than I am now. I really would. But yeah, they can't let this go, man. Let me see. He beefing with his coach. You know, yeah, JC. There's something going on with Calvin and Tank. I'm not really sure what it is, but yeah, there's something going on. The sign of Tank slipping. He's 31. I don't know, Dimitri. I don't think so, man. I just think he doesn't. He's never really fought like top competition. Not to say that Lamont Roach is super duper top competition, but I mean when you give him some pretty decent competition, they give him a good test, man. I mean look at Pitbull. I never thought Pitbull. Now there was a lot of people that thought Pitbull is all that in a bag of chicharrones. I'm like. To me, Pitbull, he's a fun fighter to watch. I like watching him fight. Whenever he fights, my eyeballs are there because he's fun. He's fun to watch, and he can compete against some top level fighters. But I never thought Pitbull was like an elite fighter or a great fighter. I thought he was. Yeah, he's all right. He's a tough little bastard. I like him. But I never thought Pitbull was all that and a bag of chicharrones, man. Like so many other people were like, oh man, damn, this guy could probably be the next face. Like, I was like, nah. No. Nah, come on, dog. It's fun. He's fun. Okay, he's fun. And we need fighters like that in boxing. Not everybody who laces up the gloves needs to be the next big star. Sometimes we just need some fun fighters, man. Guys that can win some, guys that can lose some, but nonetheless, every time they fight, you want to see them fight. And to me, that's what Pitbull is. Next time he fights, I want to see him fight. Win, lose, or draw. I want to see the dude fight again. And can he compete against top competition? Yeah, but I don't think he's a top caliber fighter. What's up, Raider? Tank also don't remember what round it was. So like excuses. He took the same knee in the amateurs. Oh, so if you were the ref, would you miss that call as well? No, Raider. No, man. I've been talking about it. I would have kept the count going. All right. When he got up, went to the corner, got towed off, I would yell down to I don't know who wiped them off. If anybody knows, let me know. I'm not sure what corner man wiped them off. I would have yelled down and said, nope, you cannot do that. Now at that point, I would have already stopped the count because he got up. Okay. But I would have still ruled it a knockdown. And then what I would have done on top of that, I would have called timeout. Okay, time. Have Lamont Roach stay at the neutral corner. Bring Tank to the middle of the ring and let the judges know that was a knockdown. Score it as a knockdown. That was a knockdown. Furthermore, I'm not going to disqualify him. Just because I don't want to see the knockdown. I'm sorry. I don't want to see, a disqualification. But this is why I was said in the middle of the ring, I would told all the judges, was said, that was a knockdown, score the knockdown. Furthermore, 1 point for going to his corner and making contact with his corner man. So really, that round, if I were the ref, it would have been 2 points. So it would have been like he got knocked down twice. That's what I would have done. But any referee right there could have just, hey, disqualification. You cannot go and make contact with your corner like that. I wouldn't want to see a disqualification, so that's what I would have done. Call time. Let's go back to the middle of the ring. Everybody, all the judges, roll that on knockdown. Furthermore, on top of that, another point, deduction for going to his corner and making contact, getting towed off. So that's what I would have done, man. Knockdown or take a point. He grabbed the towel. Yeah, you know what? Let me see. He goes up with the towel, and even they're both with the towel, right? I mean, Tank doesn't have his hands. He's got his glove, and he's there, and he's wiping it down. So let me see. Would you have decided 2 points? Yeah, 2 points, Raider. That's what I would have done. 2 points. One for the knockdown and a penalized point for going to the corner like that. 2 points. That's what I would have done. Zoom. Should have done that one yet. You know what, JC? Tim Tszyu should have done. Tim Tszyu could have done that multiple times because he had a waterfall of blood coming down his face into his eyes. If anybody was going to be granted to do something like that, it should have been him. And even then, you can't do that. Even then, the referee should step in and say, like, nope, Chales. Even then, the commission should be like, yeah, no, you got a lot of blood in your eyes, a lot of blood in your face. You cannot do that. We're overturning it. And that wasn't this. The severity of that was much different, much worse than this. And the way he's laughing about it afterwards, it's just like, oh, come on, man. I had grease in my eye. I got my hair done, and this, it was burning my eye. Oh, man. If I ever fight again, man, you guys remember to tell me, don't put Tres Flores on your hair. I don't know if Tres Flores burns. I've never had Tres Flores on my eye, Holmes, but just remind me, hey, make sure you don't throw any Tres Flores like 3 days before the fight, because that sucker takes a few days for it to come off, homie. Okay, for those that know, you know what time it is. Tres Flores just doesn't come off, dog, just because you just wipe your hair, your head off, dog, and it's all gone. Like, nah, Chale, dog. That sucker's gonna take about, a good 40, 48, 72 hours, man, of you taking showers, man, for that sucker to come off, man. Let me see, the NYSAC gonna overturn. They got to. If they don't, if they don't do it, dog, they just destroyed boxing, because now you're gonna give fighters, a little bit of leeway to start doing this in certain situations. And if you don't allow them to, they're going to be like, well, what about him? And this is in New York. Like, what the heck, man? But anyway, all right. Hey, look, we'll be back Friday, man. I'll try to do these a little bit more often. Nobody called in today, but you guys see the phone number down there. I'll go ahead and try to do this again next week. It's just life gets in the way, Holmes. Life gets in the way. I'm on the road a lot, but I definitely want to be doing this and taking phone calls. Maybe I'll drop the link and we'll do StreamYard next week during the middle of the week or something like that. But for now, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to tap up out of here, man. Shout out to all the chingonas. We'll catch you guys on Friday. You guys be good. I'll talk to you guys then. Hola pues.